You may all be seated. It's my great honor and privilege to welcome all of you to Berea College's 145th commencement. If you were watching TV last night, it was the 143rd running of the Kentucky Derby, so we're still 2 years ahead of them. So, members of the class of 2017, we're celebrating you today. I know you must be experiencing a wide range of emotions on this day full of ceremonies and speeches, and it might be easier said than done, but I encourage you to take in everything you can about the day. Use today to reflect on the journey that has carried you to this point, to celebrate your many accomplishments during your time at Berea, and to look forward to all the opportunities ahead of you. This truly is your day of commencement, a moment in time for looking back and then moving forward. Of course, we all know that our graduates would not be here today without a lot of love and support and encouragement. And so parents, family members, and friends of the class of 2017, this is your day too. You provided the foundation that helped get these students to Berea. You taught them the values you thought most important, and you have traveled alongside them on their college journey. And today we thank you for that. Would all family members and friends of this year's graduates please stand and receive our welcome and appreciation. And welcome also to the many Berea College labor supervisors who have worked closely with these students for the last 4 years. As labor supervisors, you have taught these students invaluable work skills. You've mentored them in so many ways and helped them to polish their already considerable work ethics. You play a special role in the education of our students that many staff and faculty do not experience at other colleges. So could I ask all labor supervisors to stand and receive our applause? Thank you. Welcome also to the Berea College faculty. You who today will say goodbye to students whom you have taught and nurtured for the past 4 years. As their teachers, you've had the privilege of sharing, challenging, encouraging, and caring for these young men and women across their Berea years, and we commend you for your committed work. Many of you have also served as academic advisors and labor supervisors, playing an even deeper role in the students' journey and development leading up to this momentous day. So could I ask the faculty to stand and receive our applause? Thank you. Let me next introduce the platform party. These are the speakers, guests, trustees, and administrators who have played a role in the education of these students through their encouragement, daily work, support, and participation in this special ceremony. I'll ask each person to stand as I call their name, and please remain standing until all the names are called, and if you would all hold your applause, we'll get the whole platform party at once. So, starting from my left, the back row, Elizabeth Colbreth, trustee. Charlotte Beeson, trustee. Bill Richardson, trustee. Vicki Allums, trustee. John Fleming, trustee. Glenn Jennings, trustee. Charles Crow, trustee. David Sloan, trustee. Celeste Armstrong, trustee. Betty Olinger and Speaker at the nurses' pinning ceremony this morning. Judge Wilson, Secretary of the Board. Virgil Burnside, Vice President for Labor and Student Life. Derek Singleton, Vice President for Operations and Sustainability. Bernadine Douglas, Vice President for Alumni and College Relations. and Jeff Ambergy, Vice President for Finance. Then in the front row, starting again on my left, Dr. Curtis Sandberg, Director of Academic Services, Dr. Scott Steele, Dean of Curriculum and Student Learning, Reverend Loretta Reynolds, Interim Director of the Willis Weatherford Junior Campus Christian Center, Dr. Linda Strong-Leek, Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion and Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs. Then, the Honorable John R. Lewis, U.S. Representative of the 5th District of the State of Georgia, and our commencement speaker today. Dr. Chad Berry, go ahead. Okay. And then completing the front row, Chad Berry, who stood up during your applause, and Dr. Marie Madeline Watkins, Professor of French and mace bearer. And I apologize, I forgot one of our trustees, Vance Blade. Thank you all. Now, back to the class of 2017. You are the reason we're gathering today. We've expected a lot from you in your time here, individually and as a group. You've impressed us in so many ways through your academic work, your labor for the college, your service, and your involvement in all of the co-curricular and extracurricular activities at the college. One reality for us here in higher education is that we develop deep connections with you. And so we will miss you a lot, even as we are filled with pride, hope, and expectations for your bright futures. And we look forward to seeing you back as often as you are able. But most of all, today we are here to celebrate you. So will the class of 2017 please stand so we can show our admiration and appreciation. Thank you, and please be seated. We're now ready to get underway. I welcome Student Chaplain Coordinator Rachel Lauder, a member of this class who will offer a blessing on our ceremony.
Would you please pray with me? Almighty God, maker of heaven and earth, thank you. Whether we come as family members, faculty, staff, friends, or students, thank you for giving us the opportunity to come to Berea College today. Over the past 4 years, you have allowed us graduates to grow in our understanding of the world, our academic disciplines, and ourselves. You have brought different people into our lives who have encouraged us and helped us along the way. The road has been exciting, scary, enlightening, and sometimes very challenging, but you have brought us through it all. I ask that you would bless each and every graduate as we walk across this stage today. Guide us in the next stages of our lives, reminding us that every good and perfect gift is from you. To God be the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
marching, oh, marching, marching on this journey, marching up to glory, marching, I must fight to reach my goal, marching, but no matter how hard the journey, marching, I'll keep marching till I make it home.
Each year, the Midwest Association of Student Employment Administrators announces a National Student Employee of the Year and also a regional winner as well. And so we're pleased this year to have a regional winner for the state of Kentucky at our school, Berea College. So it is a great honor that I have to introduce that award. The Student Employee of the Year award is given to a student nominated by their supervisor who shows a high degree of reliability, quality of work, initiative, and professionalism, as well as demonstrating unique contributions to the individual work area. According to this student's supervisor, who is Leslie Kaler, the student has been employed in the Environmental Health and Safety Department for 4 years and was originally hired as an EHS technician, but was quickly promoted to technology supervisor. This was based on his problem-solving abilities with a new software program, monitoring campus fire and life safety systems, and for needed upgrades with an aging chemistry inventory system, a chemical inventory system. In addition to his technical skills, this student proved to be a strong leader, teacher, and friend, creating a positive and fun work environment for the new environmental health and safety employees. And because of his demonstrated work ethic and outstanding contribution to his work area, he was selected as the 2017 Student Employee of the Year for the state of Kentucky. Today, join me together in celebrating work well done by the student Kai Hover. We're honoring the student with a plaque today, but I think there are some other incentives that he received earlier in this case. Also, we have the honor of recognizing Outstanding Labor Supervisors of the Year. And this year, each year, students are asked to nominate supervisors whom they feel exhibits the highest level of professionalism in the workplace and for the admirable way in which they work with students. According to the Office of Sustainability team, I'm just going to go ahead and announce this, Joan Pauley makes every effort to accommodate students and fellow staff members when possible and appropriate. She is kind and attentive, a listener, and readily hears the concerns and observations of students and staff in relation to the collaborative projects that she organizes and participates in on campus. And you can tell by the emails that comes out, sustainability has always got something going on and working with the various departments across campus in that effort. Joan provides constructive criticism when needed, but seeks to guide and educate rather than admonish when an issue arises with her students' performance or their abilities. Her students hold her in very high regard by recognizing and appreciating the investment she has made in their lives as articulated in her nomination letter. The entire Berea College community is greatly enriched because of her work and dedication to the sustainability efforts she leads on our campus. So again, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the 2017 Outstanding Labor Supervisor Award to Ms. Joan Pauley.
Thank you, Virgil. The next award is the Elizabeth Perry's Miles Award for Community Service, and that's awarded each year to someone who has given strong service to the Berea College community in his or her career. The recipient has served not only the college community, but also made a large impact upon the wider community. The recipient is not aware of their selection until it is announced each year at this point in the commencement service. So I ask that the awardee come forward as I read the award. Berea College presents the Elizabeth Perry Miles Award for Community Service to Michael Morris. Mike was busy ushering in people from overflow to take up the empty seats when I caught him by surprise there. Mike Morris has been a member of the Berea Volunteer Fire Department for over 30 years, serving the city of Berea and Madison County. He also assists as a Kentucky fire instructor and emergency medical technician and responds to injury accidents, structure fires, lost or missing persons, and other types of rescue calls in the area, all on a volunteer basis. Mike also currently serves as the rescue captain and president of the department. Though one of the longest serving members, he is still one of the most active. In 2016, he responded to the most calls of any member and dedicated hundreds of hours to the protection of the citizens of Berea. The level of service and leadership that Mike provides to the Berea Volunteer Fire Department is unmatched, and his willingness to help others, even to the extent of putting himself in danger, makes him especially deserving of being recognized with this award. Mike has worked at Berea College for 22 years and serves as fire and occupational safety manager. Those who know him admire his dedication to emergency rescue and to the college and the city communities. Because he knows how important it is to focus on friends and family, Mike is also willing to share the wisdom of his experiences. He has seen how quickly life can change and knows, too, that tragedy reminds us of the value of focusing on what is most important, like friends and family. Through that perspective, he helps the rest of us not to worry about the little things. For these and many other reasons, Berea College is honored to bestow the Elizabeth Perry Miles Award for Community Service on you, Mike Morris. Congratulations, Mike. Did we surprise you?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Advising Award. Aha, I'll try again. I'm here to present the Paul C. Hager Excellence in Advising Award. Academic advising is central to the teaching and learning mission of Berea College and represents a profound commitment to student success. For students, academic advisors play many roles. At times, advisors play the role of teacher, sage, encourager, coach, tutor, drill sergeant, advocate, confidant, and friend. Berea College has many excellent advisors, but today we will honor one. Nominators for this year's winner highlight that this individual does not simply have a job, but a true passion to see that students do the best they can possibly do. Students note that this advisor goes over and beyond and will take a time out just to check that we are okay, and this is much appreciated. Students gravitate to this advisor because she provides direct, honest, and helpful advice. Excellence in advising at Berea College requires passion, empathy, and directness. But excellence in advising also requires knowledge and understanding of the offices and services designed to support student success. While these systems can seem somewhat complex, each has a function, and knowledge of these separate but interconnected parts is essential. The winner of this year's Advising Award knows very well how independent parts can work in concert to give life to the larger whole. And such anatomical thinking comes natural to this year's award winner. The winner of this year's Advising Award earned her PhD from the University of Kentucky and has been deploying her passion, empathy, honesty, physiological training to her work since arriving at Berea College in 1999. Please join me now in celebrating the excellent advising work of Dr. Sarah Blank, Assistant Professor of Anatomy and Physiology.
The faculty member we honor today is widely known and revered by students and faculty alike for depth and breadth of knowledge. One nominator writes that our honoree is especially capable of getting students to think critically by using examples and by getting them to closely examine their own thinking. One student concurred, writing simply, "Our honoree stimulated my mind and made me think." The faculty nominator continued to say that the philosophy of science and rational thinking goes well beyond the personal example to a level of understanding that comes from years of study and teaching. Those years at Berea College alone now amount to 36. One person who has known him particularly well for a little more than 4 decades shared the following. While our honoree was in college, I'm told he and his friends would talk about what a great idea it would be to start a college where the students worked on a farm to provide food for the college, and worked in offices to help run the college, and worked on the grounds crew to help keep the campus beautiful, and how neat it would be if these students wouldn't have to pay tuition. Well, after graduation, he and his friends went their separate ways, and our honoree went on to complete a doctorate. Ready for a job in higher education, he was attending a conference where he called his spouse and said, "You won't believe this, but there is already a college out there where the students work to help run the college and don't have to pay tuition." He had learned this from a member of Berea's faculty, now retired, who was attending the same conference and was looking to hire a faculty member. Our Seabury winner this year is also known for his humor, his ability to calmly preside over faculty meetings, his percussive gig in a local band, his devotion to his Catholic faith and his family, and among other things, his love of baseball and a good, fierce game of cards. But most of all, we honor him today for his ability to challenge, support, and inspire Berea College students. I am honored to present Dr. Mike Berheide, Professor of Political Science, with the Seabury Award.
Each year, Berea College presents the Wood Achievement Award to a top female and a top male student in the graduating class. Students who have achieved outstanding scholarship and made excellent contributions to the life of the college. It's my pleasure to present the TJ and Hilda Welch Wood Achievement Awards to two outstanding members of the class of 2017. These honorees are aware that they are the recipients of the awards, but today is the first time that it has been announced to the wider community. In their essays, both of these students shared that their Berea College experiences have helped them make their dreams come true. They have taken advantage of the opportunities offered them here and found inspiration from supportive faculty and staff. In return, both have grown, becoming more confident and caring individuals. And it's my pleasure to introduce you all to each of these award recipients. This year's recipient of the Hilda Welch Wood Achievement Award for Women shared in her essay that before coming to Berea College, she was, quote, a small girl with big dreams, unquote. Raised in the beautiful nation of Honduras, the political and economic instability she experienced there left her feeling that her opportunities would be limited if she didn't look outside of her home country for education. Getting her acceptance letter from Berea, she says, was, quote, the happiest day of her life. Once here, she met people from all around the world who opened her mind and helped her get out of her comfort zone, unquote. As part of her Berea College experience, she has had the opportunity to study abroad in Germany, enjoyed interning at a news station in Lexington, and served as an anchor for WBER, the Berea College News. She is a member of Cosmo Club, the Latin American Student Association, the German Club, and also serves in Phi Kappa Phi, Mortarboard, Delta Phi Alpha, and Lambda Pi Eta Honor Societies. As part of her education, she has discovered a passion for learning foreign languages. She has also found joy in helping make other people's dreams come true by being a Berea patron. Berea College, she says, has helped her to, quote, feel fully accepted and allowed to be herself without judgment, unquote. She plans to become an international human rights lawyer and today graduates with a Bachelor of Arts in both communication and German, summa cum laude. So please join me in congratulating the 2017 recipient of the Hilda Welch Wood Award for Women, Pamela Alejandra Villafranca Seidel. Congratulations, Pamela.
Thank you.
Yes. Let's look at the photographer. The recipient of this year's TJ Wood Award for Men says that his dreams were, quote, just unattainable fantasies until Berea College offered him admission and gave him the chance to pursue his aspirations. Though he had done well academically in high school, Finding opportunities to gain a high-quality college education was a struggle, and he applied to U.S. colleges and universities for 3 consecutive years until he was finally accepted to Berea College. Originally from Myanmar, he says coming to Berea opened doors and shined a light on him in the darkest time of his life. While here, he says that he has been able to find academic success, but also that his experiences have helped him to become an independent, confident, and compassionate individual and to form lifelong friendships. A double chemistry and physics major, he has been presented with a number of awards, including the 2016 Beebe Organic Chemistry Award and the 2017 Lilly Braun Scholarship in Physical Sciences. His lifelong dream is to get his doctoral degree from one of the world's best research institutes. Not an easy goal. He is well on his way to making that dream come true, having been accepted to 7 graduate schools, including full financial aid offers in PhD programs from MIT, University of Chicago, and the University of Pennsylvania. Today, he will graduate summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry and Physics. So please join me in congratulating the 2017 recipient of the T.J. Wood Award for Men, Ja Pon Mint. Congratulations.
We humans have a need for heroes. Think about all the stories of great women and men that have conveyed the values and beliefs that humanity most reveres. Ancient Greek and Roman heroes and heroines, for example, or Africa's legendary Sundiata, or Calcutta's Mother Teresa. All the folk tales you have ever heard or read. These epic humans are passed down to us through word of mouth, stroke of pen, or even invisible patterns of electricity and magnetism racing through the air at the speed of light into televisions. Heroes share their wisdom with us, expose qualities that are missing in us, give us hope and inspiration, validate our morality, and often they enact justice. Today, we have a real-life hero next to me on this stage. Many Americans first learned of him through television's nightly newscast dating back to 1965 in Selma, Alabama, One Bloody Sunday. But his life work began years earlier in Nashville, Tennessee, when he was a first-generation college student about the same age as most graduates here today. There, he surrendered to what he calls the spirit of history, a concept others might call fate or destiny or even a guiding hand. He has described this spirit as, quote, the essence of the moral force of the universe. And when this spirit finds you or selects you, it chases you down and you have no choice. You must allow yourself to be used, to be guided by this force, and to carry out what must be done, end quote. And so he did. He began confronting with determination and love the people who exclude, who hate, who attack, and who sneer and scream. To do so took the greatest courage imaginable, and today this hero stands as a monument to how civil disobedience can bend the arc of the universe toward justice. His life and work are also a monument to the dignity of all peoples of the earth, the motto on which this great college stands. Heroes often enact justice. Grace, decency, generosity, kind-heartedness. These, then, are among the many character traits of the Honorable John R. Lewis, who has so ably represented Georgia's 5th District in the United States Congress. But most of all, Congressman Lewis personifies persistent courage, an eloquent voice, and a radical inclusivity, and it is my signal honor to introduce you to my hero, perhaps your hero, and certainly a hero for the ages.
On the recommendation of the faculty of Berea College, and by virtue of the authority vested in it, the Board of Trustees has conferred on the Honorable John R. Lewis, prominent civil rights leader, lifelong peaceful protester, and distinguished member of Congress, social justice warrior, an advocate of the oppressed and underserved, voting educator, freedom rider, and tireless marcher, champion of equality and promoter of social justice, renowned preacher of faith and humanity, the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, given in the city of Berea in the Commonwealth of Kentucky on the 7th day of May in the year of our Lord 2017. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President. Dean, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, alumni, parents, family, and friends, and to the class of 2017, I'm honored and delighted to be with you on this very important occasion. Let me just say to the choir, you made me cry. Mr. President, and to each and every one of you here today, if it hadn't been for music, the civil rights movement in America would have been like a bird without wings. You're a beautiful group. Graduates, you look good. Beautiful, handsome. And to each and every one of you receiving a diploma today, congratulations. This is your day. This is your day. Enjoy it. Take a long, deep breath and take it all in. But tomorrow you must be prepared to roll up your sleeves because the world is waiting for talent, men and women like you to lead it to a better place. I love being on this campus. Many, many years ago, when I had all of my hair and a few pounds lighter, I was on this campus. I love the spirit here. There is something very, very special here. It's in the air. I can feel it. I want to thank all of the faculty members for teaching. All of the parents for not giving up or giving in. To all of the staff, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Dean. We are blessed, more than lucky, but blessed to have an institution like Berea College. Now, I didn't grow up in a big city like Berea or Richmond or Louisville or Cincinnati or Cleveland or Birmingham or Montgomery. I grew up in rural Alabama, 50 miles from Montgomery, outside of a little place called Troy. My father was a sharecropper, a tenant farmer. But back in 1944, when I was 4 years old, and I do remember when I was 4. How many of you graduates remember when you were 4? What happened to the rest of us? Well, my father had saved $300, and a man sold him 110 acres of land. My family still owns this land today. On this farm, we raise a lot of cotton and corn, lots of peanuts. I don't eat too many peanuts today. Don't tell the people in Georgia I don't eat too many of those peanuts. They send to Washington. Ate so many peanuts when I was growing up, I just don't want to see any more peanuts. On the farm, we raised hogs and cows and chickens. And on the farm, it was my responsibility to care for the chickens, and I fell in love with raising chickens. How many of you graduates know anything about raising chickens? Oh, don't try to fool me. You don't know anything about raising chickens. But let me tell you what I had to do as a young boy. When the setting hen was set, to take the fresh eggs, mark them with a pencil, place them in the setting hen, and wait for 3 long weeks for the little chicks to hatch. Some of you are saying, now, John Lewis, why did you mark those fresh eggs with a pencil before you placed them under the setting hen? Well, from time to time, another hen would get on that same nest, and there would be some more eggs, fresh eggs. You had to be able to tell the fresh eggs from the eggs that were already under the setting hen. Do you follow me? You don't follow me. It's okay. So when the little chicks were hatched, I would fool these setting hens. I would cheat on these setting hens. I would take these little chicks and give them to another hen. I'll put them in a box with a lantern, raise them on their own, get some more fresh eggs, mark them with a pencil, place them under the setting hen, encourage the setting hen to stay in the nest for another 3 weeks. I kept on fooling and cheating on these setting hens. And when I look back, it was not the right thing to do. It was not the moral thing to do. It was not the most loving thing to do. It was not the most nonviolent thing to do. It was not the most democratic thing to do. But I was never quite able to save $18.98 to order the most inexpensive incubator or hatcher from the Sister Roebuck store. Now, most of you don't know it. You're too young. Maybe your grandparents or great-grandparents know something about the Sister Roebuck store, Sister Roebuck catalog, the big book. Some people call it the wish book. I wish I had this. I wish I had that. So I just kept on wishing. But as a little child, about 8 or 9 years old, I wanted to be a minister. So with the help of my brothers and sisters and cousins, we would gather all of our chickens together in the chicken yard, like you're gathered here today, and we would have church. My brothers and sisters and cousins would line the outside of the chicken yard, but they, along with the chicken, they helped make up the audience, the congregation. And I would start speaking and preaching. And when I look back on it, some of these chickens would bow their heads. Some of these chickens would shake their heads. They never quite said amen. But I'm convinced that some of those chickens that I preached to in the 40s and the 50s tended to listen to me much better than some of my colleagues listen to me today in the Congress. And some of those chickens were just a little more productive. At least those chickens produce eggs. Now, when we visit a little town of Troy, visit Montgomery, visit Tuskegee, visit Birmingham. I saw those signs that said, white men, white women, white waiting, colored waiting. I would come home and ask my mother, my father, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, why? Or to go downtown on a Saturday afternoon to the theater to see a movie. All of us with black children had to go upstairs to the balcony, and all of the little white children went downstairs to the first floor. Kept saying, why? And my mother would say, boy, that's the way it is. Don't get in the way. Don't get in trouble. But in 1955, 15 years old in the 10th grade, I heard about Rosa Parks. I heard the words of Martin Luther King Jr. on the old radio, and the words and action of Rosa Parks, the leadership, and the work of Dr. King inspired me to find a way to get in the way. So in 1956, 16 years old, with some of my brothers and sisters and cousins, we go down to the public library, trying to get library cards. We were told by the librarian that the library was for whites only and not for coloreds. I never went back to that library until July 5th, 1998, for book signing of my first book, Walking with the Wind. And hundreds of blacks and white citizens showed up, and they gave me a library card. It says something about the distance we've come and the progress we've made in America in laying down the burden of race. So when someone said to me, nothing has changed, I feel like saying, come and walk in my shoes. Come and walk in my shoes. The signs that I saw as young people, as graduates of this great college, the only places you will see those signs today that say white only, colored only, white waiting, colored waiting, will be in a book, in a museum, on a video. You ever see a great education, and you must use your education to find a way to get in the way, to get in trouble, good trouble, necessary trouble, to redeem the soul of America and create the beloved community. You can do it. You must do it. You're so smart. You're so gifted. Growing up, I never heard of the internet. Website? What is that? Facebook? I remember the first time after going through training in the philosophy and discipline of nonviolence in Nashville, Tennessee, be sitting there in an orderly, peaceful, nonviolent fashion, and someone would come up and spit on us. Or put a lighted cigarette out in our hair or down our backs, pour hot water, hot coffee, hot chocolate on us. And then one Saturday, we were told if you continue to sit in, you're going to be arrested. We would take you to jail. My mother told me, don't get in trouble, don't get arrested. But I got in trouble. Good trouble. Necessary trouble. But I thought about it and said, if I'm going to get arrested and go to jail, I wanted to look what students in another generation used to call fresh. You use that these days? Fresh. Want to look sharp. I'll probably use another word or two now. I wanted to look fresh. I wanted to look sharp. So I went to a used men's store in downtown Nashville and bought a suit. You know how much I paid for this suit? I look good in it, too. A vest came with it. I paid $5. If I still had that suit today, I probably can sell it on eBay for a lot of money. Use your education to speak up, to speak out. And when you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, You have a moral obligation, a mission, and a mandate to do something about it. In 2017, in this country, on this little piece of real estate we call America, it doesn't make sense for hundreds and thousands and millions of our fellow human beings to be living in fear. My last arrest was trying to get the Speaker of the House. 200 of us were arrested. 8 members of Congress, more than 200 private citizens. Trying to get the Speaker to bring forth a comprehensive immigration reform bill. When the Pope came and spoke to a joint session of the Congress, he said, in effect, we all are immigrants. We all come from some other place. We need to do it, and you must play a role. I don't want to build walls. I want to build bridges. Bridges of understanding. When we were planning the March on Washington for August 28, 1963, there was a man by the name of A. Philip Randolph who kept saying to us, he was saying, brothers and sisters, maybe our foremothers and our forefathers all came to this great land in different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. He said that back in 1963, that is still true today. Martin Luther King Jr. put it another way. We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters. If not, we will perish as fools. We must save this little planet. You must say to the larger community, to the world community, that we have a right to know what is in the food we eat, what is in the water we drink, and what is in the air we breathe. This little piece of real estate we call Earth belongs to all humanity. During the 60s, yes, I did get arrested a few times, 40 times. And since being in Congress 5 more times, and I'm probably going to get arrested again for something else. The choir inspired me to pick them up and lay them down. I feel like marching again and again and again till we create the beloved community, until we redeem the soul of America. I tell a little story from time to time about when I was growing up in my book, Walking with the Wind. I'm trying to make this statement, this speech as short as I can because you've been waiting for a while. But when I was growing up outside of Troy, Alabama, 50 miles from Montgomery, I had an aunt by the name of Seneva. And my Aunt Seneva lived in what we call a shotgun house. I know as a graduate, I know you may be the first in your family to attend college. I was the very first in my family. I was born in a shotgun house. Most of you don't even know what a shotgun house is, so don't try to fool me. It's an old house, one way in, one way out. Maybe a tin roof. I was born in one. But one Saturday afternoon, when I was only about 5 years old, a group of my brothers and sisters and a few of my first cousins were visiting my Aunt Seneva in her old shotgun house. And an unbelievable storm came up, and she became very worried and troubled. She loved the old shotgun house. She loved the dirt yard. From time to time, she would walk out into the woods and cut dogwood branches and tie these branches together and make a broom. And she called that broom the breast broom. She would sweep this dirt yard very clean. sometimes 2 and 3 times a week, but especially on a Friday or Saturday, because she wanted the yard to look good during the weekend. Sometime at night, you can look up through the holes in the ceiling, through the holes in the tin roof, and count the stars. When it would rain, she would get a pail, a bucket, a tub, and catch the rainwater. Well, on this particular Saturday afternoon, the storm came up. The wind started blowing, the thunder started rolling, the lightning started flashing, and the rain was beating on the tin roof of this old shotgun house. And my Aunt Suneva was troubled. She started crying. She got all of us little children together and told us to hold hands, and we did as we were told. When one corner of this old house appeared to be lifting from its foundation, she had us to walk to that side to try to hold the house down with our little bodies. When the other corner appeared to be lifting, had us to walk to that side. We were little children walking with the wind, but we never, ever left the house. I said to you graduates, as you leave the rear, try to hold down that trembling house. You have an obligation. You have a mandate. You have a responsibility with your education to hold down our trembling house. Call it the house of Berea. Call it the house of New York, of Georgia, of India. Call it the American house. We all live in the same house. But if you continue to do what you must do, to stand up, to speak up, to be bold, to be courageous, you will help save our house. Because we are one people. We are one family. We all live in the same house, the world house. I said to you, go in peace and do good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am a first-generation college student. I grew up in rural North Carolina with a family of readers and thinkers who watched the nightly news, who read everything: the King James Bible, newspapers, Harlequin romances, Time magazine, even encyclopedias. It still fascinates my husband as he watches my family members come to our home, because once they are settled in, they all reach for something to read. It was that love of reading that led me to earn a PhD in English, to become a college professor. I have since traveled the world with my students, my husband, and my daughters. I spent 1 year as a Fulbright scholar in Zimbabwe. I've been to Ghana 3 times with Dr. Bullock and Mr. Keith, and we are planning our 4th Ghana trip for next summer. I've been to conferences all over the Caribbean, and I've spent time in Europe, in London, France, Denmark, Scotland, Rome. That little girl could not have imagined the life that I have, and it was college that opened up that bright new world for me. I vividly recall sitting in a Spanish class as a senior, listening to the professor tell us that one day we too would travel to Spain, that we would all see the world. I did not believe her. But in 1998, when I was in the airport in Spain, waiting for a flight to Morocco, I remembered her words, and I smiled. She was so right. So as you enter this brave new world, savor each of these moments, knowing that the possibilities for you are also endless. And one day in the future, you can encourage some young person just like you as they begin their new journey. I am so proud today to be able to honor those like myself who are first-generation college graduates. With those of you in the class of 2017 who are first-generation college graduates, please stand. Now, will the rest of you who are here today, who are also first-generation college students, graduates, please stand. Thank you.
Well, beloved Bereans of the class of 2017, it's almost official. You're about to graduate and receive your diploma. But before we get to that, I also have a few thoughts to share with you. I want to begin by thanking our distinguished guest, the Honorable John Lewis, for his amazing and thoughtful remarks. Just your presence, Congressman Lewis, as such a courageous and steadfast champion of civil rights for all persons, honor us. We are actually celebrating Representative Lewis's return to Berea because in 1985, shortly before he won election to begin representing the 5th District, Congressional District of Georgia, he visited Berea to deliver our Black History Month address. That's 32 years ago now, nearly 13 years before most of the class of 2017 graduates were born and before all but a few of the current faculty and staff had come to the college. That's a measure of this man's steadfastness. We have a recording of that address, and I've listened to it. It's a remarkable celebration of something that is essential here at Berea College, too. The concept that Congressman Lewis calls beloved community. People caring about one another and valuing diversity, caring enough to make trouble when necessary. Good trouble, necessary trouble. It also tells the remarkable story of the nonviolent approach to confronting social evil. The approach that Mr. Lewis and his fellow civil rights warriors used to triumph over incredibly stubborn opposition, as Mr. Lewis reminded us just now. But back to you, students, members of the graduating class of 2017, you are the main focus today. Over the last 4 years, you have won us over, and it's hard to let you go. Your 4 years, though, have been interesting ones for the region and for our country, and particularly your senior year has been a tumultuous one. We're squarely in the middle of the teenage years of the 21st century, and perhaps that's why our politics, gender and race relations, global climate change, and economics have all gotten so very conflicted. Whether or not being in the teenage years is really the reason for all this craziness, together, we are experiencing one of the most complicated times in recent memory in race relations. Our political discourse is polarized like never before, in my lifetime at least. The most recent presidential election was as contentious as any I have seen, and in its aftermath, we are not yet seeing much healing or coming together. On the economic front, more people are getting jobs, and that's certainly good news for this year's graduates. But notice, very end of that little headline, family incomes, except for the very rich, are still not really growing. I would like to say that despite these challenges, our country has turned a corner or is about to do so, but I can't really say that. I think we're still in a wait and see and worry mode right now. But fortunately in all of this, there is a bright side, and it's you. You're the bright side, the hope for the future of our region and our country. You have grown in the beloved community that is Berea and been part of a continuing mission of social justice and transformative opportunity. Representative Lewis shared this reason for optimism as well. A member of your class said this better than anything I could have written myself, so I'll quote here from a thank you note that I got on Monday. The thank you note concluded with the following: I hope that our institution will continue to strive to help those who have no other means to an education, even during this time of political strife, because the person who could change the future of this country for the better just may be undocumented, Appalachian, or currently homeless. Berea is the home of the exceptional. How amazingly hopeful is that? Thanks so much to the student who wrote that to me, who knows who she is, but did not give me permission to use her name. You students are not the only silver lining, though. Another is our school, Berea College. So I want to talk a little bit about that, too, because it's only in times like this that we come to understand how sorely Berea College is needed. And that's because Berea College is in the business of developing persons, whatever their politics, to embrace the idea that God has made of one blood all peoples of the earth, and to carry that inclusive motto forth from this place. Persons who have internalized the great commitments of the college, who have taken them as their credo too, take those commitments with them and transplant them into other communities. Not all institutions have great commitments. And if other schools have commitments, they're actually usually not so great or so inspiring in their scope. So I'll predict that as you go forward from here, it will become increasingly clear to you how truly singular is the institution at which you had your college experience. You'll talk to students or graduates from other colleges, and Berea's distinctiveness will really begin to stand out. I'm going to play out how that conversation might go. Your friends and colleagues will be really impressed when you let them know that you went to the first college in the South to admit all persons, regardless of gender or race. And that was because of the Christian values of its founders, and that the school still proclaims those values while welcoming with enthusiasm to its staff and student body persons of all spiritual persuasions and commitments. They will have a hard time believing you when you say that you went to a college where none of the students could have afforded to pay any tuition on their own, and they didn't have to. Maybe they'll envy you when you let them know that you got to work for the college you attended, and that helped you polish your work ethic and helped you pay for your other college costs and reduced the cost of operating the school so that more students could be here. I know this is a bit of a paradox, because I don't think I've talked to a student yet who expressed appreciation for the labor program. But on the other hand, I rarely talk to alumni who don't express appreciation for the labor program. Probably it's one of those things that looks better in the rearview mirror than out the windshield. But anyway, it is an advantage, and you should talk about it. And you can let them know that your school was deeply dedicated to sustainability and appreciation for the Appalachian region and its cultures and environment, and that you even got a day off classes every year to go climb the mountains of the school. At that point in the conversation, you might have them pretty interested. So they'll ask you about how a student can do all of this without charging tuition. And you'll say to your friend, well, that's where you come in. My school does what it does because other people think it is such a good concept that they are willing to help. And then you can share another very remarkable thing about Berea College. You know that every school encourages its own alums to support it, and we certainly do too. But in most cases, that's where it ends. In Berea's case, however, we ask for everyone's help, and more than 2/3 of the persons who send us gifts each year are not graduates of the college. And that is truly unusual. And that's why you might be able to get your friend to be a donor too. All you have to do is point them to the donations page on the college website. Of course, you'll be more persuasive to that friend if you're a donor to the college as well, and your class has provided a lot of leadership in that regard through the Berea Patrons program. Berea Patrons, for those of you who aren't students, are students who have already started giving back to the college through payroll deductions. Every other week, giving a small amount of their paycheck back to the college. With leadership from 3 graduating seniors, Megan Yoakum, Erica Combs, and Stephanie Gonzalez Perez, and some other students, and support from staff members in our Alumni Relations Office, we have reached a new height of achievement and participation this year with the impressive number of 932 student contributors who together gave more than $23,000 to the Berea Fund. So if you're If you are a Berea patron, special thanks, and please know that you're an inspiration to everybody else. I've been noticing an increase in the participation rate of donors of other categories as they hear about what you've been doing. But now, back to your future and some final advice on how to live a good and impactful life outside of the Berea bubble. I'd boil it down to just 4 things. First, be firm in your convictions, honor and draw strength from your spiritual commitments, and always find the fun in what you're doing. Second, there will be hard times, but when you're going through them, first of all, remember to keep going. That advice, by the way, came from Winston Churchill, who had some hard times of his own to navigate. Remind yourself, too, that there's no situation so dire that there aren't opportunities to be found somewhere in it. Third, what about new challenges? Well, there's no enterprise so daunting that taking the first step isn't a good way to build confidence. And you should also believe that there is no problem too complex for persons of greatness to tackle, especially working together. And finally, and maybe most importantly of all, every relationship and every individual interaction is an opportunity to make a difference. So congratulations. We are so very proud of you. And now we can get on with awarding your degrees. After we finish celebrating, go forth in confidence and joy, and don't forget to come back. We whom you are leaving behind will all be missing you. Thank you.
Mr. President, I recommend that the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture and Natural Resources be conferred on all eligible candidates. Would the candidates please rise?
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the faculty, the Board of Trustees, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture and Natural Resources with all the rights and privileges attached thereto. Would you please come forward to receive your diplomas?
There's only a couple of double.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture and Natural Resources, Jessica Rowan Adcock, cum laude. Dakota L. Burrell. Adam Alexander Hudson. Heather Lee Phillips. Cecilia Kate Roden. Alonso Vega Herrera, cum laude. Mr. President, I recommend that the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration be conferred on all eligible candidates. Would the candidates please rise?
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the faculty, by the Board of Trustees, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky, I am pleased to confer on you the degree to which you are entitled with all the rights and privileges attached thereto. Would you please come forward to receive your diplomas?
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Lucy Hamilton Begley. Sarah Ray Caudle, cum laude. Brittany Lynn Caudle. Christopher Lamar Cotter, Jr. Erica L. Holbert. Jose Lucio Ishkoy. Denise Lefranc. Rachel Emerine Louder, cum laude. Eugeniu Prodon, magna cum laude. Carmonte Markel Ridley. Haley Crystal Runyon. Gerardo Ivan Santos. Doris Gendo Waweru. And Wyatt Allen Wonderland. Mr. President, I recommend that the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing be conferred on all eligible candidates. Would the candidates please rise?
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the faculty, the Board of Trustees, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky, I'm pleased to confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, with all the rights and privileges attached thereto. Would you please come forward to receive your diplomas?
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Choma Carol Amici, cum laude. Amy Christine Angevine. Jordan Taylor Bentz. And we have two graduating seniors who are constituents of Representative Lewis in the 5th District. Kiana Michelle Davis. And Kirsten Nicole Davis. Trinity Dal Goodman. Kendra Michelle Messer, cum laude. Annette Mushabe. Jessica Taylor O'Quinn. Marianne Popa, magna cum laude. Rachel Nicole Snyder, cum laude. And Zachary Hunter Lane White. Mr. President, I recommend that the degree of Bachelor of Science in Technology and Applied Design be conferred on all eligible candidates. Would the candidates please rise?
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the faculty, the Board of Trustees, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Technology and Applied Design, with all the rights and privileges attached thereto. Would you please come forward to receive your diplomas?
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Technology and Applied Design, Cinnamon Aquiel Collins. Aaron Cordell Glass. Felicia Victoria Johnson. Benjamin Ray Kelly. Derek Marshall Lisenby. Michael Anthony Lyons, Jr. Nolan Keith Sanders. And Mercedes Way Stanfield. Mr. President, I recommend that the degree of Bachelor of Arts be conferred on all eligible candidates. Would the candidates please rise?
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the faculty, the Board of Trustees, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights and privileges attached thereto. Would you please come forward to receive your diplomas?
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Hana Daraba Abe, magna cum laude. Olamide Christina Adejumo. Destiny Nicole Amiot. Maria Anastasiadou, cum laude. Rebecca L. Anderson. Nieva Patricia Arana. Kidist H. Ashami, summa cum laude. Zakia Saba Kisa Ash. Philip Carrington Baird. Savannah Lynn Baker. Zachary Lloyd Ball. Kevin Wallace Baer, cum laude. Guinevere Minnie Byrne. Thomas Clark Benefield. Andres Berechnoy Bejarano. Million Abate Besha. Cody Allen Blankenship, cum laude. Jennifer L. Bloom. Nathaniel Murray Bodine. Katia Quinyana Bolton. Chantel Desiree Bottom, cum laude. Jamila Cheyenne Bowie. Kiera C. Bozeman. Aviella Katarina Bragg. Shelby Lena Marie Brewer. Amy Elizabeth Brooks. Noah Crispin Broomfield. Dylan Scott Buser. Jonah Jose Benavente Cabiles, magna cum laude. Taylor Lawson Caldwell. Bubakar Ibrahim Sharif. Gabrielle M. Christian cum laude. Leah Faith Claiborne. Sarah Marie Clark. Tony A. Clemente. Caleb William Coffey. Erica Danielle Combs. Caleb Matthew Congrove. Brianna Sandra Cowden. Carl Franklin Kraft. Bronwyn Elise Cross. Tyler Francis Culver. Kaylin Gwendolyn Davis, magna cum laude. Nicholas Michael DeTore. Tenzin Dessel. Sering Donden. Salah Abdullah Jah. Holden Chase Dillman. Catherine Ann Dunn. Nicoleta Dvornikov, summa cum laude. Samuel Aaron Ifoy. Abdul Ali Yassin Isar. Kyle Anthony Ernst. Tiffany Marie Estep, magna cum laude. Shayla Finkelstein. Allison Marie Fidisone, summa cum laude. Marcella Ann Fidisone. Emerald Michelle Flanagan. Courtney Rachelle Fleggy. Felicia Renee Flesh. Kristen E. Garrett. Eva Christine Galtney. Stephanie Damaris Gonzalez Perez. Jessica Ray Green. Alexandria Gwen Griffin. Elijah Houston Grubb. Kayla D. Guffey. Keisha A. Guffey. Vanessa Elizabeth Hamilton. Sean Patrick Harden. Robin M. Hauschner. Cheyenne W. Haynes. Rebecca Elizabeth Hirsch, magna cum laude. Annika Shea Hoffman. Riley R. Homan. Christopher Daniel Hooker. Kai Michael Hoover, magna cum laude. Elise Diana Horton. Jawpon Mint, summa cum laude. Christopher Gard Hunt. Rebecca Helen Hunter. China Sophia Ibuyakezi. Amos Izeremana, cum laude. Amanda Rose Johnson. M. Ethan Johnson. Zachary Scott Johnson. Kayla D. Jones, magna cum laude. Jasmine Marie Jones. Anthony David Cadis. Abigail Marie Keith, magna cum laude. Morgan A. Ketcher-Sid. Ambria Nikinsey King. Kiara Nicole Knox. Megan Erin Susan Kramer, magna cum laude. Quentin Michael Lambert. Murphy Franklin Lammy. Sarah Danielle Lamping. Jessica Lee Lance, summa cum laude. Maria Selena Ledesma Alonso. Job Kipto Limo. Anna Marie Lukaitis. Andrew Sophia Mayer. Sierra Brooke Marling. Lawrence Trayvon Martin. Ashley Rebecca Mathis, cum laude. Katie Brooke McElrath. Rachel Michaela McKinney. Kenneth D. McQueen, Jr. Will Mendoza. Mizela Maristel. Angesom Amare Mezgebo. Ashley Marie Mike. Bawesh Mishra, summa cum laude. Steffi Michelle Molina. Casey Sage Monty. Sam Carlin Moody. Austin Mitchell Moore. Keisha R. Morgan. William N. Mosier. Sakima Aliyah Muhammad. Sydney Elaine Mullen. Andrew Dylan Keith Mullins, cum laude. Cody D. Myers. Anthony D. Merks Brewer. David Ungbule. Asha Joanne Nanda. O.H. Jackson Napier. Julie Diane Nelms. Megan Melissa Newbanks. Tron K. Nguyen, summa cum laude. Joseph D. Nolte. Esther Oluwabumi Omalola. Savannah B. Osborne. Ronald J. Overstreet. Richard D. Parker. Dana Natasha Palmer. Chelsea Ray Parsons. Christina Ravina Patel, magna cum laude. Sandra Deanne Perkins. James L. Phillips. Shadia Elise Ronche Prater. Emily R. Presnell. Jama K. Pyburn. Jafer Rama, cum laude. Kaylee Jazz Raymer, summa cum laude. Jonah James Rector, magna cum laude. Eric Rhodes. Tyler J. Ryder. Mackenzie James Ridley. Stevie Ridley. Rachel A. Rife. Katie Lane Roth. Hannah Elizabeth Rogers. Lydia Elizabeth Roots. Tyler Christian Rosso. Tiffany Shavarno Russell. Ryan McKay Rudder. Gabriella Teresa Sabino. Wesley Newak Gessner Santil Nord, cum laude. Jonathan Lee Salyers. Zachary Ross Setters. Kamar Shaker. Ria Podel Sharma, cum laude. Alexandria Nicole Shorter. Olivia B. Sizemore. Victoria Lee Slaughter. Alexis Renee Smiley. Logan Lee Smith. Nathan Allen Smith. Marissa Lee Snyder. Kyle Andrew Snyder II. Zachary C. Spicer. Leah Christine Donnell Sproles. Morgan Cheyenne Stacy. Taylor Michelle Stiles. Vincent Tembo, summa cum laude. Coralie E. Terry. Jennifer Elizabeth Tevis. Kristen Dion Thompson. Leah Imani Janae Thompson. Samuel M. Thompson. Tanner Michael Thompson. Hope Diane Tomes. Sophia Toye, magna cum laude. Christian Ardarius Toole. Bethany Page Turner. Pedro Venegas Jr. Pamela Alejandra Villafranca Seidel, summa cum laude. Jessica E. Vinson. Paul Michael Viscup. Abigail Elizabeth Wackerly. Megan Renee Walker. Justice Waishandra Wallace. Tyler Suzanne Warner. Ivy Wren Webb cum laude. Cassandra B. Weckerly. John Colin Weckman. Elizabeth N. Wesley. Cody Tyler Wisman. Bria Nicole Williams. Mac Earl Williams Jr. Hunter Alexander Wiseman. Austin J. Worley. Megan Rose Yoakum. David Mitchell York. Matthew H. Young, summa cum laude. Jared Michael Zanet. And Jacqueline Ruth Zimmerman, cum laude.
All right, the moment has arrived for you to move your tassels from the right side to the left side, signifying completion.
Is it going? It's time for you all to rise and join us in the singing of our alma mater, Berea Beloved. It'll happen without us.
Shoulder to shoulder, in kinship.
Would you please be seated? And would you join me for the benediction, please? And now, as you leave this place, let your song be heard in your service to others. Be involved in building God's kingdom of peace and love on earth. Have courage. Take hold of what is good. Never pay back wrong for wrong. Let compassion be your companion, and forgiveness your constant friend. Seek always what is true and just and kind. Walk in the knowledge that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Rest in knowing that you are a child of God. Go in joy, go in peace. Amen.